Good day, class. Hello again. Today I was grading the week three, the second posts, where we were talking about the gap analysis and how we use gap analysis as a tool. And I realized that there might be some confusion as far as what the gap analysis is and how we use that tool. So I decided to just uh, uh, tape it just a few minutes and talk about the gap analysis. That might help you guys to get a better understanding as far as how it works. Well, to start with, I should say that we have two different type of business management systems or quality management systems. Some of them are structured, like ISO 9001 or AS 9100. And some of them are not really structured. Those are the homemade type of business management systems that each business unit is, or each business is using um, for its own um, purposes. So here we are going to talk about the structured management systems like ISO. When you look at the ISO document, it's about 35 pages, which is pretty similar to AS 9100, which is the aerospace specific standard. In either one, you have a document with multiple sections, right? Which is pretty similar to the content, the table of content in your book. And each section, there are a set of requirements identified by the ISO committee. So what you have in that book is it defines requirements. For example, when you're talking about purchasing department, you have set of requirements that you got to follow if you want to be ISO certified company. When you're talking about design department, again, there's a set of requirements you got to follow. Same thing for customer service. Same thing for HR department and training. Same thing for maintenance. So what we're talking about gap analysis is we are talking about the differences between what you are practicing today and what you have to practice if you want to be ISO certified company. So in gap analysis, we got to look at every single function in the organization. When we do gap analysis, and usually this is being done by the quality professionals in your company. So those guys, they get they identify the requirements and they go to that function. For example, purchasing department, right? When you look at the standard tells you that you have to evaluate your suppliers, your external providers on a regular basis. So when you go to that department, this is the question you got to ask. You got to ask them if they are doing annual or frequent evaluations when we are talking about the vendors. If they are doing it, and if you can verify by looking at the objective evidences, it means that there is no gap in that particular process. But if your organization, the purchasing department within your organization, is not doing that task, it means that there is a gap. Again, for structured quality management systems, it's easier because they're structured. As a result, there are a bunch of different gap analysis checklists that you can buy and use those checklists and evaluate your organization to see if there is any gap or the organization or already has practices in place which comply with ISO requirements. So this is when we're talking about gap analysis, we're talking about looking at the requirements, identifying ISO, and asking internally how we are doing things and how we are practicing different processes. As long as these two, the requirements and what we are doing today, they're consistent, all right, we're good. If they're not consistent, in other words, ISO is asking for some specific requirements, but you don't have that specific requirements, then there's a gap and we got to fill out to be able to go for ISO certification. Again, that's pretty much today. Michael was asking about the AS 9100, and I would say that ISO and AS 9100 from that perspective, they're really similar. So the gap analysis in AS 9100 and the gap analysis in ISO, it's super similar. I thought that probably it might be beneficial to just take a few minutes and talk about gap analysis. I hope that this video helps you to get a better understanding as far as what the gap analysis is. If you have any questions, just let me know. Send me an email or put your questions in question board. All right. Thank you, guys. I'll talk to you later.